What if I told you that the biggest thing holding you back isn't your education, your finances, your background, or even the people around you? Yeah, it is the way you train your mind to think. Right now, you're operating from one of the seven mindsets, and that mindset is quietly shaping every decision you make, every opportunity you see, and every result you get. So today we are going to uncover those seven mindsets, and by the end of this video, you will know exactly which one is leading your life. Stay tuned. Welcome to our series of 5 pillars of self-development. In the last episode, we talked about self-awareness as the first pillar of self-development. And in this episode, we're talking about mindset. Just a quick recap on what we talked about in the last episode. We talk about being honest, knowing your core value, knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. Because in order to develop yourself, the first thing you need to do is to know yourself, to know your shortcomings, to know what you stand for, and to be able to identify your goals in life. So when you know where you are headed to or what you want out of life, then be able to start a journey and work on the processes involved in achieving that goal. So that's why it's important for us to work on that journey of self-awareness. So if you have not watched the previous episode, I ask you, please watch the previous episode so that you enjoy the full gist of what we're talking about here. So what does psychology say about mindset? Mindset is a set of beliefs, assumptions, attitude that has shaped the way you think, the way you see the world, and the way you relate with people around you. It affects you and it affects your relationships. It affects how you see the world, your beliefs that affects your world's view. Take, for example, some people believe that hard work does not lead to success. That is as a result of the attitude, the assumptions, the things that they've seen and the way they perceive it. That's why they believe that hard work does not lead to success. While some other people believe that there are no happy marriages, there are no happy relationships. So these are the things that form our mindset. And for some people, this mindset do not change. That's how they see the world. Our brains are constantly processing information, especially with this information age where there are information all over the social media. But they don't process everything equally. They filter information based on what we already believe. And that's why some people have some funny mindset, and you wonder how they came about this mindset, because these are their beliefs. These are as a result of the information that they have been exposed to. And in a way, they filtered some information and some life experiences out that they decide to make a mindset out of it, to form a belief out of it. So that is what mindset is. So what are the 7 mindsets that people have that shape their decision making, that shapes their lives? Let's go. The first one is the growth mindset. Now, the growth mindset, a growth mindset believes that abilities can be developed over time through trainings, through exposures, through development and improvement. Now, instead of saying, I'm not good at something, a person with a growth mindset will say, I'm not good at this thing yet. Meaning that they believe that over time, when they've gone through trainings and through exposures or guidance and mentorship, they can become better. Now, this kind of people do not see challenges as something that limits them, as a limiting factor. Rather, they see challenges as an opportunity for them to improve on themselves, to become better. So they tell you that, oh yes, I failed at this thing at this time, but give me time. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to learn more. I'm going to study more. I'm going to do more exams, or I'm going to get more trainings, and then I'll become good at this thing, or I'll become better. And then these are people that end up becoming the best in their field. Say, for example, athletes or footballers. When they started their career, they didn't start as the best. Most of them started as a rookie. But over time, with training and not giving up, not everybody that started playing football, not everybody that started as an athlete goes to the championship level. Some people fell along the side due to some other factors, and some people because they just do not believe
in their self. So, but an individual with a growth mindset will continue doing the training, continue going through the rigorous activities just to become better at what they do. Now, the next mindset is the fixed mindsets. Now, these are people that believe that their abilities cannot be improved. They believe that they've reached a particular level in life, or they believe that the knowledge and the skills that they have is enough and cannot be improved. And these are people that get easily stopped. They tell themselves, I cannot do this. I cannot do beyond this. I cannot kill myself. So these are people with the fixed mindset. Now, they quit before they reach their potential. They quit before they reach their life goals because they just feel that I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I do not deserve to reach this level. This position is not meant for somebody like me. So a person with a fixed mindset stop before they reach their potential. And it's not because they are not talented, but because they just fail to see the need to improve on themselves. They just have it in their mind that this skill I have is enough. I can't go beyond this. My strength cannot go beyond this. My brain cannot learn more than this. And then they end up not achieving their full potential. Now, the next mindset is the victim mindset. And these are people that believe life is just unfair to them. Like life has just selected them and decided to just start bashing them. They feel that the opportunities that they are being exposed to is being limited. Like life is just omitting opportunities from them. These are people that are always at the receiving end of a bad system or of a bad structure because they've just decided to put themselves at that place where they feel that, oh, the world is against me, nothing I do is working, and this keep going on, and then something is always happening to them because they have this thinking and this mindset that things are not meant to be working out for them. So these are people with the victim mindset. So you always see these people give excuses for one reason or the other why some things are not working. They always have excuse. They will have lots of excuses, but they will not blame themselves. An external force is always working against them. They do not look inward to see what they are not doing well, what they've not done well, or what they're supposed to be doing. These are the people with the victim mindset. Then there is the abundance mindset. Now, these people believe that there is enough success to go around. They believe that there are many opportunities out there, and they work towards getting opportunity. So this kind of people, rather than be angry that somebody is doing well and be jealous of somebody else, what they do is they collaborate with these people. They work with them. They build relationships because they believe that if this person can be successful, then I can be successful. They believe that whatever opportunity is out there, they will partake in that opportunity and they are going to be successful. So this kind of people, they do not complain. Rather, they work on building relationship with people because they just believe in the abundance of the universe, and that is such a good feeling. That's such a good mindset to have. Now, the scarcity mindset. Now, people with this kind of mindset believe that there is never enough. There is never enough opportunities. There is never enough money. There is never enough jobs. There is never enough anything. So this creates anxiety in them. This creates fear. Rather than seeing opportunities or thinking of creating opportunities, they have fear in them that, oh, there is not enough money, so it might not even get to me. There are not enough opportunities. I might not partake in it. And this creates fear. It creates insecurity in them because they believe that it is not enough. It creates anxiety, unnecessary anxiety. So these are people that you are around them and they're always complaining. They're always complaining that, oh, there are not enough successes, there are not enough money, there are not enough opportunity. Nothing is enough because they believe that the resources that are available are limited and they might not even partake in it. So people with scarcity mindset will always hoard. That's why you see people hoarding. So even when they get free things, you see them hoarding because they believe that it's not enough. These are people that when they are opportune to get into positions, government positions, they steal money, they embezzle money. And because they believe that it's not enough, things are not enough, so they have to keep for themselves, they have to steal some aside. These are people with the scarcity mindset. Nothing is ever enough. So it creates insecurity, it creates anxiety in them, creates fear, and most times they end up being very corrupt people because they always hoard, they always embezzle money because in their mind, they think that they are saving for the rainy day. In their mind, they think that they are helping their own children, their own unborn children. Now, this is what's very tricky about this mindset, is because in doing that, you end up creating scarcity. So let's assume that there are not enough resources, but by hoarding, you are creating more scarcity. So this kind of people end up being selfish at the end of the day, because when you hoard things, when people do not have access to what they need to use, or the resources that they need to use at that present time, then you create scarcity, you create a lot of chaos. So that is what the people with scarcity mindsets, that is what they do. I personally think that people with scarcity mindset have a very poor mindset. Yes, that's the mindset that shows that even if you have abundance, you still feel that it is not enough. So you keep amassing wealth, you keep amassing property, things that you will end up not needing, things that will end up not being useful to you, but because you just feel that it is not enough, so let's just keep stealing, let's just keep keeping it, packing it, putting it somewhere. That is a scarcity. Now, the last mindset is a purpose mindset, and this is one of my personal favorite. Purpose mindset is purpose driven, is not money driven. A purpose mindset is impact driven. So whatever it is, people that have this mindset believe that they need to make impact. They believe that they are created for a purpose. They believe that they have goals to achieve, and they put every resources, every skills, everything within them, or anything that they can access to ensure that this goal is achieved. They are purpose driven. They are not wealth, money driven. Yes, wealth or whatever it is can come along the way, but they have a goal. They have a goal. They have a target. They want to live a purposeful life, and they want to live an impactful life. These are people that ask questions like, why am I here? What am I here to do? How can I impact people? Wherever they are, they always think of creating purpose. And these are people that easily volunteer. You see them volunteering in feeding the homeless, helping with domestic abuse, doing different kind of things just to make an impact. And people that are purpose driven most times try to just create something. Even if there are limited opportunities, they try to create something out of the limited opportunities. They try to make positive impacts in their surroundings, in their immediate environment. So these are people with the positive, the purpose mindset, and I think is a positive mindset as well, because for you to want to live an impactful life, to make positive impacts in people's life, that means you have a positive mindset. So having known all these mindsets, known all the 7 mindsets, let's do a quick recap of the 7 mindsets that we've talked about. We talked about the fixed mindset, we talked about the growth mindset, we talked about the victim mindset, we talked about the scarcity mindset, we talked about the positive mindset, we talk about the abundance mindset, and we talk about the purpose mindset. So which mindset do you think you have? It is possible for you to have more than 1, 2, 3 of this mindset, and then sometimes at a given situation, you could shift from this mindset to another mindset. But you know predominantly how you think, you know predominantly how you see the world. I mentioned earlier that your beliefs and assumptions and attitudes, they form a mindset, and it forms how you view the world, your world view. And that is why sometimes it's difficult for us to understand how people think or how people feel, because their experiences, their exposures form how they see the world. Some people see the world as a very cruel place, while some people see the world as a happy place, a place of opportunity. And some people do not even take the world very seriously. So all of these things contribute to how you see the world. So having known all of these 7 mindsets, somebody will ask, so how would that help my life? You have to identify your predominant kind of mindset, how you see the world. Is it from a purpose point of view, or from a victim point of view, or an abundance point of view, or you're just fixed, you don't want to grow, or you are that person that desire growth and you are working towards it. You need to identify all of this first. Initially, I said honesty. You need to be self-aware. And to be self-aware means to be honest. So in this journey, honesty is very important. Nobody is going to sit you down and ask you these questions. You really want to ask yourself these reflective questions to know at what point you need this change. So having identified your own mindset, the next thing that you need to do is so somebody is going to ask me, so how do I form the right mindset? From the 7 listed mindsets, you know the ones that is good for you. You know a growth mindset, a purpose mindset, an abundance mindset, a positive mindset are the mindsets that is good for you, that will help improve your life, that will help you achieve that success that you desire, that will help you develop yourself. And then you become that person that seems and then you become that person with their goals aligned and their life in order. How do you form a positive mindset? How do you form the right mindset? Now, the first thing I tell people is to be watchful of what you consume, to be watchful of what you allow into your mind. You know, we say mindset, that means your brain. That means information goes into your brain. In this world of information overload, where the moment you open your phone, there's one information going up and down. Everywhere is just information. People just watching me now is information. People just give out information. You have access to information. Now, this is the best time to be self-developed, because we have so much information compared to 30, 40 years ago. So there are so many information out there. You have to create a filter. Not every information on the social media space, not every information everywhere that you need to consume. You have to filter the information that you allow to go into your mind. Your eyes, your ears, they are the channels through which information enters your mind. The things you hear and the things you see. Most times you go through a social media page and then within the first 20 seconds that you consume their information, you just know that, oh, this information is not for me. What I do is I intentionally control the pages I follow, the people I subscribe to their channel, the channels I watch. I have their entertainment information. Even with entertainment, you still need to be cautious, intentional about what you consume. Your spiritual life, you be intentional about what you consume. So you have to sit yourself down and ask yourself, what do I want out of my life? How do I want my life to be? In so doing, you'll be able to know the kind of pages, the kind of accounts that you follow, the kind of people that you call mentor. So you just do not allow every information. The fact that something is trending does not mean that you have to follow the trend. There are lots of influencers that I do not even know they exist. And this is not me be I am mighty, but this is me controlling my space, my mental space. Because the information I consume, they directly or indirectly affect my mind. And once my mind is affected, the decisions that I make will also be affected. These things cause ripple effects. You have to be intentional about what you consume, the people you watch, what you do with your time. And, when you say something is habit, that means something that you do repeatedly. So you cultivate positive culture. You want an abundance mindset. You want a positive mindset. You want a purpose-driven life. Then you have to be intentional about the people you follow. Not every trend, not everybody on social media space that you follow. That it looks aesthetically pleasing does not mean that it's good for your brain. It does not mean it's good for your mind. Your mind determines your life 100%. If you believe that you can do it, you can do it. If you believe that you cannot do it, there is no magician in the world that is going to change that for you. There is nobody that is going to do anything. Success begins with your mind. This is no motivational speaking. This is the truth. This is the reality of life. Success begins with your mind. If you're going to be successful at something, you start from your mind. If you're going to fail at something, you start from your mind. But the thing is, the mind is just like a child. You need to groom your mind. You need to purge your mind off of negative things and then be intentional about what you input into your mind. The advent of AI is being trained. AI is not automatic. So the information, when you ask AI questions, when you ask ChatGPT questions, the answers you get back depends on the model and depend on the training. There are humans that are training ChatGPT behind the scene. So nothing goes for nothing. You have to be intentional about your mind. So when you see some people look all well put together, look as if they're high up there, it's because they've taken time, set time apart to pay attention to what they consume. So you have to be intentional about what you put into your mind, about the habits that you form, about the people around you. So let me articulate them so it doesn't get all muddled up. One, the first thing is you have to be intentional about what you input into your mind, and by extension, what you consume on social media, because that is the order of the day. We cannot set ourselves aside from social media or the information technology. So that's the first thing that you do. Two, the people that you surround yourself with, the people you call close friends, close pals. That somebody is related to you does not mean that they are healthy for your mind. So you can always discard people. You can always, let me not use discard. That word seems kind of harsh. But you can always put boundaries. Yes, put boundaries in place. You know that this person is not good for my health. What this person talks about is not good. Then you can always put boundary in place and put them in different categories. Do not mix friends with acquaintances. Do not mix mentors with friends. Don't turn your mentors into your friends. Don't turn your family into your friends. So people have different groups that they belong to. You know the kind of friends that you have that will help in your self-development journey. So you have to pay attention to all of these things. And the next thing that you have to do is to cultivate positive habits. You have to cultivate positive habits. If you're, let's say for example, if your first habit that you want to cultivate is reading books, then you start with reading a page every day. You start with journaling. You start with all of these baby steps. You start with, if you want to improve, if your goal is to improve your spiritual life, you start with prayers. It doesn't have to be long prayers. You can start with 3 minutes prayers, 4 minutes prayers. You do not know what to say, sing worship songs. Just be intentional. Start doing it. Is one thing that is difficult to create is a positive habit. Negative habits are very easy to create, but positive habits that will impact your life, they are difficult to create. But like I said, success starts with your mind. The moment you tell yourself that I have to do this, I need this for me, I need this for my self-development, I need to move from where I am to where I want to be. And when I talk about self-development to people, I say that it's not just you packaging yourself to become employable. It's not just you packaging yourself to become an employee in a company. It is you defining your life. And that's why I say that purpose mindset is my best mindset. Because if you are purpose driven, if you are purpose driven, that means you want to make impacts in life. You will start making positive and healthy habits. Though they might be challenging and difficult, you have to start making them. It's just like when you want to do daily exercise. It's difficult. Even the first day you do the exercise, if it's sit-ups that you do or press up, whatever, you feel the pain and you wish that you not even do it. But that is not the time to quit. You have to do it again. You have to keep doing it again. You have to keep doing it again. And that is how you form positive habits. So when you now see how this thing links, when you surround yourself with people who are positive minded, when you surround yourself with people who a self-improvement, self-development mind, these are people that will encourage you. When you have friends that will call you and challenge you, that have you done your exercise today? Have you studied that book? Have you done this? Have you done that today? It helps you. The support network that you build around you, it helps a lot. And if you're an introvert like me that do not have so much friends, but yet you still want to develop, then that's where what you consume on your social media comes in. You have to be very intentional about your space. You have to be very intentional about your space. I'll keep saying this. And your space is your mind. Your workshop is your mind. Your company is your mind. Your life is your mind. And you have to protect it with everything you've got. So I hope that this episode, you'll be able to identify where you need improvement, the kind of mindset that you need to have, and what you need to do. Watch out for the next episode where we talk about another interesting and very strong pillar in your self-development journey. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.